Going over to the Cultural Pod podcast, I have Matt Walsh saying that Trump is not on the Epstein files and going viral on social media. Now, this is brought to us, obviously, thanks to Matt Walsh on X. And I was going to say, I can't do his voice. I could attempt, but I'd fail. I'd also need, a thicker beard and a flannel shirt to truly embody him. But nevertheless, he tweeted, quote, "It is totally inconceivable that there would be something incriminating about Trump in the Epstein files, and yet the Democrats kept that information to themselves for all these years. Sure, you could say that they also have incriminated evidence in the files, but so what? They would have just released that part of the incriminated Trump, released the part that, and redacted the rest. Does anyone think that the Democrats are above pulling a move like that? No. The only possible reason they don't release the dirt on Trump is that there is no dirt to release. Trump is the most thoroughly vetted politician in American history. There is no corner of his life that his enemies haven't ripped open for the public view, and yet they've kept this a secret. Absurd." True. Getting 2.6 million views and 56,000 likes, which, yeah, is one of those things where Matt Walsh, in this case, I think is 150% correct. Because again, they have looked over every rocket and every nook and cranny for Trump's history and even made some stuff up. What was it? The crazy gal in New York with the allegations around sexual harassment. They changed the law in New York for the statute of limitations and then had her file that sexual harassment case without any evidence. And again, he just settled outside of court or settled so he won't go to trial to make it go away. And she had no evidence. They changed the law just to go after him in New York over the fact that they're both in a department store decades ago. That was the only thing that was known in that case. He walked in that building and she walked in that building, apparently. And yet they changed the law to try to go after him. There's been more lawfare against Trump than any other politician in U.S. history. So yeah, if there's some magical secret sauce, they would have released it by now. Because again, they were trying everything possible, legal and illegal, to get rid of him. I would also argue, we'll see if we ever really know who is behind trying to take his life. That's another way they're trying to get rid of Trump. But yeah, Matt Walsh is 110% correct, 150% correct with his assessment. There's been one instance of him being on Epstein's plane, but it was not the Loletta Express. It wasn't going to the island. It was actually going to, I think it was it Florida to New York? It's one of those interstate travels. I mean, for years, there's a rumor of, oh my gosh, there's a video of Trump saying the N-word. It's been years, not a single evidence has been shown about that. Everyone was talking about it for a while. And again, which is why I firmly believe that does not exist. If that existed, they would have brought it up to the forefront during the primary. If not, okay, let's say they wait till they won the primary just to kind of nuke the Republican the whole party. Well, as soon as he got the nomination, why didn't they release it then? So yeah, I'm of the firm belief if they had the evidence, they would have used it to prevent Trump from becoming president and released it after he won the primary. That's just my 3 cents. It used to be 2 cents, but 40-year hyperinflation, gotta be 3 cents. Now, let's go to the comments. One of the first ones comes to us, again, Matt Walsh actually continued saying, quote, "We're supposed to believe that the intelligence agencies who've been trying to destroy Trump for 10 years had this information, but couldn't figure out how to get it out there without publishing the entire file and burning all the names on it. Come on." Getting 11,000 likes and 370 responses. What was it? Was he ratioed? He was not. Ryan Bengal did reply saying, quote, "You only believe what you want to believe. Use some effing common sense. If the Democrats release the files and only implicated Trump, everyone like yourself would simply declares the files are false and not believe them." Getting 36 likes. No, I mean, evidence was there. It was, actual solid. I think they would have released it. The gas stove, our favorite contrarian, although they did not get as many comments. They're usually the #1 response comment ratio in terms of they'll, make a response and they'll have hundreds of responses because it's such a contrarian account. However, the gas stove in this case only got 6 comments. He said simply, then release it, getting 150 likes. Someone by the name of Alexandria Spears says Democrats already wanted to be released. I don't think so. Again, the Democrats are in power. I mean, Biden could have done it, or more accurately, one of his handlers could have done it or signed off on it with the auto pen. I was going to say, Jason, he's on fire this week. He does yet again the Ask Grok, the assessment of the situation, in a Jamaican accent, which is probably the worst Jamaican accent you'll hear all year, but I shall attempt. So Jason says, quote, "Grok, can you please explain this in a Jamaican accent?" In which Grok says, "Yo man, come on, listen up, the Epstein files. Them got no solid proof that Trump did nothing wrong, His name pop up in flight logs, true, but nothing saying he broke the law. Matt Walsh making some sense. Trump's enemies wouldn't drop any dirt fast, see? Still some folks whispered on unreleased files, but that's just chat, no evidence, man. The paper's out now from New York Magazine and the Washington Post say no big deal about Trump. Social media hype like just noise, nothing solid. Still, if more files hiding, could stir up things up, but for now, it's clean, y'all. Yeah, keep y'all real, man. Which, again, might be the worst Jamaican accent you hear maybe all decade, but nevertheless, the attempt was made and that got 274 likes. Not me, but, the Grok reinterpretation of this analysis. You also have some rocket guy saying, quote, then Trump should release them. Why hasn't he? Getting 1.4 thousand likes. That'd be nice, too. If Trump would just release all the files. I'm sure it implicates a lot of Republicans and a lot of Democrats. I think they should release every damn one of them. Drain the swamp. Click that button, Trump. I want him to release it. Now, you also have Kay with, geez Louise. Her, it's fascinating how so many Americans have such a fascination with Ukraine. I mean, her profile is K with, how many is that? 1, 2, so she's got 5, she's got 6 flags in her profile, maybe appropriate, maybe a ratio that's indicative of her mentality or her loyalty. She has 5 Ukrainian flags in her profile name and 1 United States flag and then 2 blue hearts. And she says, F Putin. And her profile description is, comment on my Ukrainian flags or Ukraine. Cool. Now I know you've lost the argument before you even started. Try debating ideas next time, not pixels. Oh, my debate would be, why do you want to give them $180 billion for a place that you can't point to on a map that will have no implication on your life? Yeah, I'm not cheering for Russia. I'm just saying, why are you stealing more of our tax dollars and giving it to countries that don't affect us, really? And we still have homeless veterans, people are starving in the United States, broken roads. Yeah, I think we should cut down the foreign aid. But another topic from the time, perhaps. Though she's a contrarian, so obviously I'm going to follow her because life's more interesting when you have contrarian comments. Now, she says, quote, if there's nothing incriminating, they would have already released them. Getting 416 likes. Well, I think there is incriminating things about a lot of Democrats and Republicans who still have jobs. I bet they're still in office. Now, the Big Cheese, this New York? Well, appropriately enough, they do have a profile picture of a piece of cheese. Big Cheese says, quote, this post is paid for by Israel. Getting 493 likes. Rolanda Deshawn says, quote, you're probably right. Best thing to do is release the files immediately to clear everything up. Yeah. Yes. Getting 986 likes. You have Lucky Tyke 2 saying, quote, and just like that, Democrats and liberals are demanding for the files to be released. 5D Chess getting 47 likes. Doge.ai says, Epstein files are a classic DC distraction, all smoke, no fire. After years of relentless scrutiny, audits, and leaks targeting Trump, the absence of credible evidence speaks volumes. Remember the retracted accusations and debunked lawsuits? Political operatives would have weaponized any shred of dirt by now. This isn't about justice, it's about smearing a leader who threatens the swamp. Meanwhile, bureaucrats have fund billions into pet projects while media fixates on decade-old gossip. Real corruption, look at agencies like the FBI ignoring threats while chasing partisan narratives. Trump's vetted, cleared, and still living rent-free in their heads. Parties people getting 156 likes. Pro-American Politics also says, quote, they raided Melania's underwear drawer, but they drew the line at leaking the Epstein files, getting 295 likes. Kaigon's Top Gal says, quote, then you should release them. Well, what's the deal if he's innocent? Getting 1,000 likes. Let's see here. Mindlogs says you forgot the point that some prominent Democrat funders might be on the Epstein files list too, so it might be a lose-lose situation. Also have Gentile News getting 1.7 thousand likes for this particular comment. Now he says, quote, this is such a bad take. The Democrats can't release the files because they're on the list too. LMFAO. Wouldn't be surprised. Getting 1.7 thousand likes. So yeah, I can't help but think. Yeah, they're can't help but think Trump is innocent. But again, it'd be nice if he actually released every one of those damn files. But yeah, as I always say, let me know your thoughts in the comments because I'd be fascinated to hear what you have to say today. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Again, trying to get to 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback. Let me make the show better and better. And lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.